Hello and welcome everyone, a new episode of Money Means Business. Today we do have a number of files. We are going to tackle the important visit of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the United Arab Emirates, where he had talks with his UAE counterpart Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, and they discussed a number of issues of mutual concern. On top of the list, it was the economic file: investment, trade, volume of trade, trade exchange, and the investment of the UAE high-profile companies here in Egypt, and the cooperation file really includes a lot. We are also going to discuss the activities of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli as he witnessed the signing of many memoranda of understanding, whether with our allies in different countries or with the high-profile companies working in different fields of investments here in Egypt. Also, he had inspection tours in many governorates all over the country: Damietta, Suez, and also in this wonderful place of St. Catherine. We are going also to know the details and to continue with every detail of these tours. Right after this, we are going to turn back with more, so stay tuned. Welcome back, and to start with my dear guest live here in the studio, let me first welcome him. We are very much delighted and honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub Mahmoud Ayoub, former Minister Commercial. Thank you very much for being with us, sir.
Good evening to you and to the viewers.
And if you permit me, we are going to start with the visit of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the United Arab Emirates, which took place just a few days ago, and a number of issues of mutual concern were tackled. But let's start with the COP27 and COP28. As President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Egypt, the political leadership is keen to convey all the messages and to exchange expertise, particularly with the UAE, as the UAE is going to host a COP28 in few months from now by the end of the year. How do you see the importance of this issue, climate change in specific, and the will and keenness of Egypt to exchange all expertise to our UAE allies and brothers, as we were and we still are the occupying the presidency of the UN climate change conference?
Luckily, COP27 was held in Sharm el-Sheikh, and Egypt portrayed how far it has developed as far as environment and the climate change is concerned. It was a very good venue for Egypt to show what has been done in Egypt itself and as a model for other countries. At the same time, we have gained experience in holding this summit of COP27. Many presidents and heads of states and prime ministers have attended it, and Egypt was able to create new liaison with many countries as far as its economy is concerned and as far as green energy is concerned. A lot of things has been tackled using this platform of COP27. So United Arab Emirates is lucky that who was just before them, it was Egypt. And
to build on what we have achieved already.
They are based on what we have achieved, and our president is in Emirates to convey to them our experience and expertise and our very good performance in this aspect, and they will depend heavily on what has been done in Egypt during COP27. December this year will be COP28. United Arab Emirates is keen to make success like what we have done in Egypt just a couple of years ago. So it was an important issue for the Emirates more than for Egypt that they invited
for both. But this is going to lead me, if you permit me, to tackle or to shed more light on the importance of cooperation in the field of renewable energy. Renewable energy, green hydrogen, green economy are all the time on top or of the priorities of the president's talks with his UAE brother, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed. How do you see the importance of doing, I mean, it's not a theory, it's not ink on paper, but it's something tangible implemented on the ground. When we see that we are the president of COP27 and we implement on the ground cooperation in this field with the president of COP28, this is a message to the whole world.
It is a positive message. What has been done on the ground in Egypt for the green energy and the green hydrogen is a good example which United Arab Emirates can cope with or can copy also. This is one thing. We gained experience during these 2 years in the field of green energy with all its aspects, whether green hydrogen or all its as a green energy and even solar energy and all this. So we gained experience in this aspect which United Arab Emirates is keen to make use of and build on it. So they are building on what Egypt has done during COP27, and that is why we hope that COP28 will be a successful one, and Egypt will be one of the main partners. And thanks to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he has been in with his brother
Sheikh Mohammed
bin Zayed to convey to him our experience and readiness to help in every respect as far as green energy is concerned, and our experience in this aspect, and maybe some Egyptian experts will be exported, if I can say exported.
Joint committees,
yes,
joint activities, you name it. But
yes.
Also, if you permit me to add to what you've kindly mentioned, the visits or the exchange of visits between President Sisi and President Mohammed bin Zayed, it's really great to find only less than a month ago, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed was in the New Alamein city, just,
yes.
I mean, enjoying his time with the Egyptians in
yes.
the New Alamein Cities Festival. Only, yes, amen to that. And to continue with the sidelines diplomacy. In fact, our president is very brilliant in this, all the time leading high-ranking delegation, meeting with businessmen, with startups, with high-profile companies, to ask them what are the obstacles on the way, to eliminate all obstacles on the way, to see what's really hindering them, so to just get rid of all these bureaucratic issues. How do you see meeting with businessmen in the United Arab Emirates or in their homeland, and to attract them to come and to invest here in Egypt with the potentials we have in all domains?
When we see that CEOs, chief executive officers of many international companies are clamoring or are asking to meet President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in United Arab Emirates, they mean that they see good business in Egypt in this respect. Why? Because Egypt by itself has a good standing in the Middle East and also in Africa. All what we have been doing, we are looking all at the same time to investment, fresh FDI, foreign direct investment, our relations with the Arab countries, and our relations with African countries. So Egypt is in a good position to lend a hand to Arab countries and the African countries as far as green energy is concerned, as far as power projects are concerned, as far as infrastructure is concerned, and as far as industrialization is concerned. We have seen that many countries are now asking to establish a presence in the Golden Triangle of Suez. Why? Because the initiative by the President and the Prime Minister, of course, makes them eager and keen to tackle the problems which have been there for some time, and has been tackled. And when the President himself listens to what they want, what they need, and at the same time gives time limit that this should be implemented within a couple of months or 2 weeks, this means that we are serious about real business with the big companies in the world to come and invest in Egypt. When I say invest, I mean FDI, foreign direct investment, not acquisition. This is very important. It is, I must speak about foreign direct investment, which adds to the economy, which adds. And we need foreign investors. We need local investors to find new ways and new projects. We have a lot of opportunities. We have seen this in Bani Suef when the President have been in Bani Suef.
Localizing industry, this is another issue.
Yes.
And if you permit me, we are going to go to the official gazette. Only 2 days ago, on Thursday, the 21st of September, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi issued a presidential decree number 129 of 2023 to approve a loan to fund the development project of the logistics line of trade between Cairo and Alexandria. The agreement was between Egypt and the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, equaling 400 million American dollars. The logistics line between Cairo and Alexandria, this is another step forward, exactly to encourage investors like you've kindly mentioned, sir, but this is on the ground to make it much easier, to make all the services introduced to them, and to take into consideration that we do not have the luxury of wasting more time. This is implemented, this is a presidential decree, and it started already. How do you see this?
It was badly needed, and it is realized. Although it is a loan, and I hope that in the future we can self-finance, but we need it now, and the loan is in a productive sector. That is very important. When the companies are keen to establish easy movement of their products to the market and outside to other markets, this means that we are giving them a good opportunity to establish a presence in Egypt. That is very important because foreign companies find that Egypt is a very good hub as far as foreign investment is concerned. First, because of the big population of 110 million consumers, I would say consumers. Second, very good relations with Arab countries, multilateral agreements within the Arab League, and also very good relations with the African countries, whether through bilateral or multilateral trade agreements with the African countries. So our access to the African countries, to North African countries, or the Arab countries, I mean, and to other Arab countries within the 11 countries of Arab Economic Unity Council. This means that Egypt is on the right road to encourage foreign investors to come and work and pour their money in productive areas and in productive projects which are needed, badly needed by the economy and by the export sector. Because we are always looking to the export sector, because once you export, this means you have foreign currency and you can finance the imports, because we know that our imports is almost double our exports. So we need to raise our exports to reach the 100 billion.
By first localizing industry.
By localizing it.
And let's implement what you just said on the ground.
That's
How? On the 20th of September, meaning just 3 days ago, on Wednesday, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli witnessed the signing of a very high-profile company to manufacture tires on 400,000 meters, equaling investments of 1 billion euros on 3 stages, in the industrial zone, in the Suez Canal economic zone, with the presence of the president of the economic zone of the Suez Canal, Mr. Walid Gemaluddin. And this is going to be a project aiming at fulfilling all the needs of the local market, to decrease the imports, to and of course it goes without saying, to eliminate unemployment, as this project is going to afford 1,000 job opportunities, whether direct or indirect. How? This is included under the development company, which is the investment arm of the Economic Authority.
$1 billion investment to be poured in the Golden Triangle, I call it Golden Triangle of Suez, in the tire industry. We had, in the last century, tractor and a company which produces tires, but it was on a small scale, and Indian companies have came to in and acquired it. Now when we are establishing a new giant company for tire production, this means that the cars which we own, whether public cars or transportation cars or buses and all this, they need, we imported tires from several countries. Now we are able to not only to satisfy the local needs, local market of the tires, but also to export the surplus to African countries at a lower cost. I always look to the word cost, because it is a cost effective, then it will be a successful.
Lower cost,
yes,
but good quality.
Of
course.
When we compare the cost for the same quality.
And let's not forget to say that there is a partner or a stakeholder from Finland. And yes, and this partner is going to introduce all the technical consultation for the designs of the project, since its start until we continue to witness it working on the ground.
From Finland to Suez, to Golden Triangle. So transfer of technology, influx of foreign capital, creating new jobs, and creating good opportunity for exports to African countries and other countries in the world. 4 components of development which are very important as far as Egyptian economy is concerned, because we have our eye in creating job opportunities to the Egyptians who are looking, the graduates of universities who are looking for good chance to work in their country, and this is something which should care for 1,000 jobs in just one project. And we can see it, we can see many other projects are coming. It is not only tires, because tires mean many other things for the car industry. With localization of car industry, this is a basic point in localization of car industry in Egypt. We are producing the tires in Egypt by ourselves. Although we know that to produce tires, we need to import the raw rubber from Malaysia and from the Far East. But at the same time, we are adding value to what we are producing, to what we are importing.
And when we talk, sir, about 1 billion euros,
1
I
billion.
mean, 1 billion.
1 billion euro.
This is something, or
A big project, a giant.
very huge.
Yes.
So
It's a giant project.
I mean, we have not heard those numbers in such a long time.
Yes.
And when it comes to 1 billion euros, meaning that we do have the trust of the other investors.
This is a very important point, what you mentioned now. Now they are sure and they trust and they are coming to a stable market, big market, sophisticated market, and has access to other markets in Africa at the same time. So the Finnish company is sure that they can create good production, good job opportunities, and also good chances for export to other countries. And we have multilateral agreements, as I mentioned, with many African countries, and our commercial bureaus are working on this respect.
Yeah. Sir, and since we are mentioning العين السخنة or the Suez province, already today, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli was accompanied by Hisham Amna, Minister of Local Development, and of course the Governor of Suez, General Abdelmajid Sar, and he had an inspection tour where he inspected a number of the national mega projects, whether they were housing projects or also the general health insurance centers, which already implemented in the Suez province with 3 billion Egyptian pounds, or other projects in the infrastructure to make sure that whether the services introduced to the citizens are being introduced in the best way, or the environment is paved for investors to go there and to continue with their new innovative ideas on the ground.
It is Suez. Suez is a hub which calls and encourages foreign investors to come and invest. I have seen it in Al Ain Sokhna. Many industrial projects have been established in Ain Sokhna during the last 5 or 6 years, and now foreign companies are coming to Ain Sokhna and are coming to Suez to establish their presence in this golden triangle, as we call it, because they see a good chance to make more profits in Egypt. That is very important. When they come to the Egyptian market, they are sure that they can make more profit than in other countries, other markets, which they are competing with Egypt, of course, but we succeeded in this respect, and they came and they are investing and transferring their technology beside the capital and training our technicians to be sophisticated to the level needed by the new industry, which is very important. Training is very important for the new
Vocational training
projects
is a key
which
word.
are established
Yes.
in this place.
Let me take you to Damietta.
Yes,
And
please.
because it was really great to find that all our top executives are having tours, inspection tours, in the very same day. Here we were talking about Suez because we mentioned Al Ain Sokhna and the agreement which was signed there a few days ago. But today there was an inspection tour by Prime Minister Madbouli in Suez, and before Suez in Damietta. Prime Minister Madbouli followed up on the progress realized so far in ongoing projects in Damietta, as investment has reached 14.5 billion Egyptian pounds. Madbouli underlined the importance of swiftly realizing these projects to go into service, as they will play a key role in improving the services offered to citizens. And with my humble opinion, and with being that biased when it comes to women occupying very leading positions, the governor of Damietta is Manel Awad, she is such a perfect example of an active woman. She is really doing great, and I think Damietta, under her debut or under her presence, became a very different, active province.
Manal Awad.
Yeah,
She's an engineer
yeah,
and she's Rotarian,
yeah.
and she did a lot in Damiette. Before being governor of Damietta, she was holding another position in Damietta.
Yeah.
And her performance, I have been following her because it is a good example of what women of Egypt can do.
As I
And
said,
yes.
I love her.
Yes.
Yes.
What women of Egypt are doing on the ground.
Yeah.
It is not only in sports and games, but also in Damietta. And Damietta is very important as a port and is a production site for furniture for all Egypt and for export.
It's an industrial hub.
It is industrial hub, and the president has been there few months ago to inaugurate several projects in Damietta for furniture, and we are pleased that a woman governor is doing is giving a good example that the governor, that women can do the job efficiently and in a better way than other persons. I said other person, I did not say men.
Yep. And engineer Manal also accompanied the premier in inspecting a number of projects under construction, particularly in the slums which were eliminated in the markets, and to realize civilized, if I may put it this way, civilized development in Damietta, in Ras Al Bar, and in many other cities under the umbrella or affiliated to Damietta. Sir.
This is a very important place in Egypt because most of the Egyptians go to the shores of Marsa Matruh and Damietta and Ras Al Bar and these places in the summer for 3 or 4 months of summer.
Yep.
When the prime minister is going there, and thanks to the engineer and the governor Manal Awad, paving the way for better living conditions for the residents of these areas and also for the tourists. I can say tourists are coming to pass good time in the summer or in industry in these places. So we are very pleased that she is doing a good job, and also she is giving an example for other governors, which is very important, that what we can do in practice, because she, will I say, just 24 hours a day, she is work, her life is in her job. It is like this. So it is a giving good example for other governors. I know they are doing their best, but she is giving like a show window what can be done. I did not say what women can do, but what can be done in areas
And when it comes to Damietta,
yes,
the unemployment rate is 0%. 0%.
When we hear this unemployment rate is 0, this is the mark of success for the governor and for the government, of course.
And for the people.
Yes.
Their culture there is to work. Working
Yes.
is their culture. I mean, and this is the way they brought up, they are bringing up their children.
Yes, from
And
early age.
From early age.
Well, this we see in Damietta, especially in Damietta.
Yes. And to continue with Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli's activities, and today he presided over the Governor's Council because he was following on the ground the implementation of the series of measures which were announced by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi when he was in Bani Suef in Suts al-Umara village just a few days ago, to make sure that those measures are really going to benefit all the needy brackets particularly, and Decent Life Initiative projects implemented on the ground to serve more than 50 million Egyptians. Sir, how do you see the package of incentives or measures taken by the President?
Which affects the lives of 50 million people, that is almost half of the population.
Yes.
This means it's a successful and a strong package. And the answer should be raising the productivity of the Egyptian persons in question. That is very important, because we are always looking to the productivity of the personnel or workers in their places, and even the persons in on pensions. They are benefiting from the 8 measures which were announced by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi in Bani Suef a couple of weeks ago. And when the Prime Minister, Premier, goes to see on the ground what has been achieved, this means that they mean business and they mean to implement what has been said. Saying something means putting it in practice as far as this
Into
government
action.
is concerned.
Yes.
That is,
Yeah.
we are very pleased that it is in practice, not just words.
And it seemed that we are going to have a tour in Egypt in this episode, as we
Yes.
are going to tackle another inspection tour by Prime
Please.
Minister Dr. Madbouli, and this was on the 21st of September, last Thursday, as President Madbouli was in St. Catherine to follow up the implementation of the tourist village or the tourist hub in St. Catherine, and how to develop this area to prepare for the Grand Transfiguration project, or At-Tagalli Al-Azam, and how this place can really turn or modify or add a lot to our tourism map in general. How do you see the future of this area and what we can do to make it on top even of our tourism map, sir?
St. Catherine is a hub, attractive hub. I've been there at least once in St. When we see that tourists are coming from Europe straight to St. Catherine via Arish, and when the Premier goes there to ensure that what is done in the ground, what is happening on the ground, encourages more tourists to come, and at the same time encouraging other people who did not know about St. Catherine to come and see. We know that the population of the number of Catholics in the world is about 2 billion. When 2 billion people are aware that we have St. Catherine and Virgin Mary has passed by this area, when in her visit to Egypt, month or 3 years visit Egypt, we have a lot of attractions.
The journey of the Holy Family.
The Holy Family has been in Egypt, and we are very pleased that they have reached Asyut, Dranka in Asyut, and had been to Wadi Natron,
I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
and Faraskour, and then back to Dumyata, and then back to Palestine. We are pleased that Prime Minister is taking care of touristic aspect of the economy, which is very important for the local people of Sinai Peninsula, and also for the economy, and at the same time it's creating job opportunities for many graduates of the university and school leavers. Yeah,
and let's give some data about what's taking place or what's going on even as we speak. There is under construction now, let's call it a mountainous resort, 4 villas, 17 townhouses, and of course a reception headquarter or a reception building, a trade zone, 16 bazaars, and also if you are going to talk about a social club for the residents of the city itself on 1,600 square meters. Also, there is a mountainous hotel including 150 rooms ready to receive tourists all over the year.
We are creating the right environment for tourists to come to Egypt. This is very important. Second, what has been done during the last 3 or 4 years as far as tourism is concerned and as far as infrastructure is concerned is vital and important. And the reflection was in that more companies are coming to Egypt, more tourists are coming to Egypt. We hope that by the end of this year, we will cross the 12 or 13 million tourists coming to Egypt. And this is a good example of what can be done, because there are a lot of tourist attractions in Sinai and even in Matariya, the Virgin Mary tree in Matariya. Many tourists, I have accompanied some of them to see places which were not in their program, because we need a better marketing of our tourist attractions, whether in St. Catherine or in Cairo itself or Wadi Natron, in even as far as Asyut and Bani Suef is concerned.
Amen to that. And this is really giving more added value or to enrich our tourism map, because simply, and I'm going to repeat this forever. Under every stone in Egypt, you are going to find something related to an ancient civilization. We were the melting pot where we attracted a lot of civilizations. We digested all of them and we made it under our identity, our Egyptian identity.
Egyptian identity affected the melting pot, and the Romans, the Greeks, and Persians, and from
you
the
name
north,
it.
a lot of them have been in Egypt. They did not change the Egyptian personality, but they acclimatized with it.
Yes.
And also we benefited from this influx, if you can say influx of foreign countries who have been here. And this pot, the melting pot, is a unique one.
Sir, with all my respect to
unique.
all the African countries which were under colonization, they all speak the language of the occupiers. Till
like
the moment.
Algeria, for example, like
till the moment.
Kenya,
I'm not going to mention names,
yes.
but till the moment,
yes,
our Arabic language, our Arabic even dialect is the most common. This is Egypt.
When we see Egyptian dialect, if we can say the Egypt dialect, all over the Arab countries, they can understand Egyptian dialect.
Because of our soft power.
Thanks to our films, which were...
Our soft power, our
yes,
drama, films,
soft
cinema,
power, if we can call it.
music,
So
songs,
there is
you
a
name
lot
it. Yeah.
which Egypt can offer to the world, whether in touristic areas or in industry or in new markets. And also what matters to me is technology transfer to Egyptian industry and the localization of new industries in Egypt.
Technology.
Yes.
Technology is a key word.
Yes.
Digitalization is a key word. Key words on the road to the new Republic, to Egypt 2030. And to also give another proof on this, I'm always saying, if you want to measure how this society, or to what extent this society is civilized, see how this society is dealing with people with special needs or people with determination, to be accurate.
Yes.
Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on Wednesday also witnessed the signing of a memoranda of understanding to improve the status and the integration of people with special needs, of people with determination, in cooperation with the JICA, or the international, the Japanese International Agency, yes, to implement this on the ground. Of course, the agreement or the memoranda of understanding was signed with the presence of Prime Minister Madbouli and Ministers of IT, Dr. Amr Talat, and Minister of Social Solidarity, Dr. Naveen Al-Qabbaj, in addition to Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Muhammad Ayman Ashur, and Minister of Culture, Dr. Naveen Al-Kilani.
This is a wonderful area when we can lend a hand to the people who are in much need. Just 1 year ago, we made a project for the people with the special needs in hearing and speaking in Alexandria and Al-Bahira. So there is a lot in adding value to what we have. Mm-hmm. These people, when we are helping them, whether through the JICA or through other organizations, international organizations, it means that we are changing them from minus to plus, mm-hmm, from idle to productive forces in the community. And this is from economic point of view. From humanitarian point of view, we are changing the lives of families, whole families. When one of the children is unable to act like the others, and then we raise his or her standard to the level of others. So you are giving life to persons with special needs. I say life, you are giving a new life to them, so they are equal to others. And in many cases, they are very brilliant because God gives them some surplus in other areas.
Amen to that. And to just say to what extent this was a top priority. This memoranda of understanding was signed by the Ministry of IT, of Communications, the Ministry of Higher Education, the National Council for People with Special Needs, Biblioteca Alexandrina, the Books House, and the universities of Ain Shams, Cairo, Alexandria, Al Mansoura, and Al Azhar. Do you see, sir, how many entities are included into this agreement, and how all these entities are willing to give a hand and to integrate all those very dear citizens,
yes,
families,
yes, or
our
families, rather families, yes.
our
Yes.
relatives, our sisters,
Yes,
our
of course.
brothers, you name it, into our society.
When a lot of organizations, you mentioned about 8 or 9 of them now, when they are putting their hands together to invigorate power and activity in this sector of the community, this means that we are taking care of the humanitarian aspect for the family, and at the same time we are adding value or adding productive hands and minds, of course, to the economy. I'm very pleased that many organizations are concerned, and that is a good thing. It is not one organization who is taking care, but rather say 8 or 9 of them are taking care of the same project, and to cooperate together, they are rowing in the same boat to reach a noble cause.
Amen to that, and inshallah, the positive results of such an agreement is going to be felt that soon. And Egypt is all the time proving that we do take care of the citizen. When the president said it more than once, and approximately in every occasion, the Egyptian citizen is a first priority. It's
Yes,
implemented on the ground. It's not words, it's deeds. Well, sir, as usual, I enjoyed our time together, and
Me
we are
too.
going to leave you with a promise to see you again in more episodes.
Thank you.
We were very much delighted to have with us live here in the studio His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, former Commercial Minister. And now let's go together once again to thank Catherine, to witness with the Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Medbouli or the developments of the Grand Transfiguration project, or At-Tagalli Al-A'zam, because this is really going to be one of the most important attractions we do have in Egypt. Till we meet again same time on Nile TV International. Many thanks for watching. With all my love, this was Nermeen Abdurrahman.